Yeah, lesson worksheet. Hi, T4. Lesson worksheet 127. Things that we'll go over today will be in the book. I'm gonna start on the board and then we'll go into the book. So remember, we learned how to do double digit addition, right? We've been learning that for a while now. So whenever I have a number up here, like 43 plus 21, how do I start adding? Where do I begin adding first? I start where?
Back.
In the back. So when I start in the back, what numbers would I be adding first?
3 plus 1.
3 plus 1, and that'll equal
4.
4, okay. So from the back, I go to the front, and I add the front numbers, and they are
4
plus
2,
and that equals
6.
6. So this is adding. Now, when it comes to subtracting, it's the same exact thing, meaning as far as the steps, except now we are subtracting instead of adding, but we follow the same exact steps. Okay, that's going to be important to know. Remember, is that when you see the subtraction, first of all, you have to pay close attention to look at the symbol. We know the subtraction symbol is a minus sign, so whenever it has the minus sign, it means we need to take away, and we follow the same exact steps. Okay, really what you need to pay attention to is if it's an addition or subtraction, because now when you have double digit numbers, it could be either or, either addition or either subtraction. So you just have to pay attention to the symbol and follow the steps. So let's look at 68 minus 24. So I start in the back just like I did with the addition. So I start in the back and I start with 8 minus 4. 8 minus 4. I can't do 4 minus 8 because that's impossible. I always start subtracting with the back, and I always do top minus bottom. So 8 minus 4 would be
5.
Do it again. That's a doubles fact.
15.
Minus subtracting. We're taking away. 8. Take away 4.
Oh.
4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 minus 4 is 4. After I subtract my back numbers, I go to my front numbers, which would be 6 minus 2. And that will also equal
4.
4. So my answer is
44.
44. So when it comes to subtracting, I do the same exact thing. It's just now I'm taking away. So my answer has to be less than what I started with. I can't say 68 minus 24 is 93, right? Because how would that be possible for me to start with 68 and I'm losing and then I end up with more? No, remember when you're subtracting, you always have to end up with less than what you started with because you're taking away. So let's look at this one, 79 minus 42. I start with my back numbers, which would be, tell me, 9 minus 2. So I have 9 and I'm losing 2. 9 losing 2 would be 7. So 9 minus 2 is 7. Then I go to my front numbers. 7 minus 4 would equal, I have 7 and I'm losing 4 would be losing 4. 3. 3. 7 minus 4 is 3. So 79 minus 42 is 37. Now look at this one. This one's a little different. I have 94 minus 2. Okay? 94 minus 2. So always start in the back. What we start with is 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 is, that's easy. 4 minus 2 is
1.
2. 4 minus 2 is 2. But now look at 9. There's nothing here. Do y'all remember what I told you? When there's nothing here, what do we act like it's a what?
0.
It's a 0, or we just bring that number down because there's nothing here. So 9 minus 0 would obviously be 9. So 94 minus 2 is 92. So this is subtracting double-digit numbers. The steps are the same. We start in the back, we go from top to bottom, then we move to the front, go from top to bottom. We put our answer. What you need to make sure is paying attention to the symbol, whether it's addition or subtraction, okay? So keep these steps in mind because next year in second grade, when you build on this, you want to make sure that you know where to start moving forward. So whenever we start to carrying over or when we start to trade, we know exactly what to do, okay? So let's look in your book. Let's go ahead and look in your book. All right, so let's look at number 1. It says, so we have our dimes and pennies. We know our dimes is our tens place, pennies is our ones place. So it's 73 minus 13. Let's go ahead. So tell me, where am I going to start adding first? In the back. What are the two numbers I'm subtracting first?
3 minus 3.
Now that's easy. 3 minus 3 will be?
0.
What is 0? 3 minus 3 is 0.
Oh, I think I know the answer.
Okay. All right, so 3 minus 3 is 0. So now we move to our front numbers, which would be 7 minus, and that will equal, so 73 minus 13 is 60 cents. Well, 73 cents minus 13 cents is 60 cents. All right, let's look at box 2. We have 65 cents minus 24 cents. 65 cents minus 24 cents. Where am I beginning? In the back. So what are the first two numbers I'm subtracting? 5 minus 4. That equals, out of 5, and I'm losing 4. 1. There's only going to be 1 left. 1. So after I subtract my back numbers, I move to the front numbers, and I'm subtracting 6 minus 2, and that equals 4. So 65 cents minus 24 cents is 41 cents.
I'm gonna put 6. But I was just raising my hand off of that because we didn't have to raise our hand.
Okay, next one. Number 3, 49 cents minus 7 cents. 49 cents. So let's start where? In the back. And so I'm subtracting, tell me, 9 minus 7. It's not 9 minus 7, and it equals what?
3.
Try again.
2. Wait.
2. 9 minus 7 is 2. Because that's 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 minus 7 is 2. 7 plus 2 is 9. Okay, so then look at that 4. There's nothing underneath the 4. So what do we treat it as? It's a what?
4.
Basically, we know it's 4, but I told you if there's nothing there, you would put a what? A 0. So 4 minus 0 would be? 4. So 49 cents minus 7 cents is 42 cents. What? Okay, now you try box 4 on your own.
What?
Yeah.
We can get a shit like what? Okay, let's try. I'm gonna try. Minus 6. 6. Wait for me for my
Okay, you got it. Oh, now, no.
Oh. What? I didn't know.
Okay, do we have an answer yet? Not yet?
Yes. I do.
Okay. All right, so let me hear. All right, Carson, what you have?
I have 15. 15.
What you have? 15. Okay, anybody has anything different than 15?
I know.
What you Okay, so let's look at it. So we have 46 cents minus 31 cents. So we start in the back. 6 minus 1 is 5. Then we go to our front. 4 minus 3 is 1. So 46 cents minus 31 cents is 15 cents. Yep, that's correct. Awesome. Okay, so that is subtracting double-digit numbers. Okay, so what I need you to do is flip a page and find 128. 128, it'll be lesson worksheet 128.
128. Oh, I see the page. This one has to work. Yo, look at this number though.
It'll be the page with the thermometer.
Wait, what? We don't know. Wait. That's in the thermometer. I'm in the back of the book. Girl, what are you doing in the back of the book? I was going to do purple. Oh, no.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
all right. All right, so we are going to measure the temperature. So whenever we go outside, the weather can feel a ton of different ways, right? The weather can feel cold some days, right? The weather can feel cool some days. The weather can feel warm, and it can feel hot as well. So those are the 4 different types of weather we have. We'll have a cold day. We can have a cool day. Oh, yeah. We can have a warm day, and we can have a hot day. So yes, when we walk outside, we can feel it, you know, it touches our skin. So we're able to say, oh, today is pretty cool. Today is pretty hot. Today is pretty warm. But there is actually a way to measure the actual number of the temperature, and it is called using a thermometer. A thermometer is used to measure the temperature. The temperature tells us how cold, how cool, how warm, or how hot it is. So we use a thermometer to measure the temperature. Temperature is measured in what we call degrees. So you know how when we measure with a ruler, we'll say inches or centimeters. Well, when you measure the temperature with a thermometer, it is measured in degrees. Okay, so we use a thermometer to measure the temperature.
I always use a thermometer. What is thermometer? It's thermometer.
Okay, so a thermometer is used to measure the temperature. Inside of a thermometer, there is a red liquid. That red liquid goes up and it goes down. It just depends on what kind of day we have. That red liquid inside of the thermometer is called mercury. Mercury moves inside of the thermometer based upon how the weather is. The hotter it is, the higher up the mercury will go. The colder it is, the mercury will go down. So that mercury inside of that thermometer tells us what type of temperature we're dealing with, which is good, right? Because we want to make sure we know how to dress for the day, right? We don't want it to be a hot day and we're wearing a snow coat. That probably would not be a good idea, right? Or we don't want it to be a very cold day and we're wearing shorts and shirt sleeve. Yeah, so we want to make sure that we read the thermometer because it will tell us what the temperature is. Now, you know, we're in a new advanced age of technology, so you can just open your phone and it will tell you exactly what the temperature is. Some mornings I'll wake up and I'll say, hey, Siri, what's the temperature today? And she'll tell me what the temperature is for the day.
I got
Yes.
Alexa.
So yes, our Alexa, they'll tell you the temperature. So we don't really read thermometers, you know, nowadays because we have easy access to it, but you still have to know how to read it when you see one. And that's what we're going to learn, how to read a thermometer. But before we get into that, let's talk about the different types of temperature and what each temperature means. So we'll start at the bottom of the thermometer here, and we'll start at 0 degrees. Now, I told you, the mercury in it, the higher up it goes, the hotter it gets. The lower it gets is the colder. So now at 0 degrees, what kind of day do you think that is? A warm day?
No, cold.
Cold. That is going to be an extremely cold day, right? Thank God we live in Louisiana where we don't get that type of weather. Praise the Lord, right? Where we don't get 0 degree weather, but where Joshua is in Chicago, it may not, I don't know if it gets to 0, but I know it's really cold there sometimes. So 0 degrees, we know it's going to be extremely cold, right? You may just have to stay in the house, right? Because it's going to be too cold. So from about 0 degrees till about, let's say 30 degrees, that is normally determined to be a really cold day. So from 0 degrees, so you see this circle I'm putting up here, that means degrees. So from about 0 to 40 degrees, it is probably going to be a cold day. So you'll probably need a coat, you'll need boots, probably layers of clothing because it's going to be pretty cold. Maybe even some earmuffs, some gloves probably. It's going to be cold. But when we jump into the 40 degree weather, we'll say 40 to about 50 degrees. That's going to be a cool day. That's how it was this morning. It's not quite snow coat weather, but you may need a jacket, right? May need some tennis shoes. You could probably wear boots too, but you'll definitely need a jacket to kind of keep you a little warm. So from about 40, let's say 40 degrees to about 50 degrees. Now I'm basing this on Louisiana weather. In some areas, 40 and 50 is probably still really cold, but here 40 and 50 is pretty cool. It's a little chilly, but not like super cold where, you know, you can't be outside. So then after we get out of the 50s, from about 50 degrees, we're going to say to about 70. That's pretty much a warm day. It's not quite hot yet. It's pretty warm, right? Getting in those 50s, 50 degrees to about 70 degrees. It's warm. You know, it's not quite cool, and it's not quite hot, so it's pretty warm. You probably can take your jacket off. You may just need, maybe you could do a long sleeve shirt, or maybe just like a short sleeve shirt and jeans probably. You may not want to wear shorts just yet, but warm, it's getting there. And from warm, we have from 80 degrees on up because the thermometer can go past 100, but from 80 degrees, we'll say from about 70 up, let's do 80 to 100. Let's do warm from 50 to like 80.
You have to do 91, 92, 93.
So from about 80 to 100, or we're going to say 80 degrees on up. Yeah, it's going to be very hot. Very hot. You can have on short sleeves, shorts, slippers. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty hot day. So this is what, you know, the weather feels like at each temperature, at each degrees that it is at. So from about 0 to 40 degrees, you know it's going to be a cold day. You might want to wear a coat, boots, muffs maybe. A cool day is about 40 to 50. Let's do 40 to 60. I'm going to change that. 40 to 60. We'll say that's a pretty cool day. You know, it's not quite warm just yet. But it's cool, you know, it's not uncomfortable. It feels pretty good. And we'll say from 60 to 80 is a pretty warm day. And then 80 degrees on up, that's a pretty hot day. Okay, so let's look at your thermometer in your book. Okay, So we're not going to do the left side. We'll do the right side. So let's start at the bottom. On the bottom, on the right side of the thermometer, on the bottom. Okay, just do the other ones that you didn't do. On the right side. So look at it. It has 30 degrees. It's pointing to 30 degrees. So based on our chart, what kind of day would 30 degrees be? Is it a cold, cool, warm, or hot day? 30 degrees.
Cold.
That's a cold day. So put cold on that line. 30 degrees is a cold day. Yes.
I just put a C.
Huh? No, write the word cold. C-O-L-D. Cold.
C-O-L-D. You know how to spell it. I just add something.
Yeah.
Wait, which one is this?
The bottom one, pointing to 30. That's a cold day.
This looks like lamb fur. Lamb fur? What is lamb fur? Lamb. Like from a lamb? Oh.
Wool.
Yeah, you trying to say wool? Wait, oh yeah, wool.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks like wool. Lamb fur.
All right, and so now let's go up. So now it's at 60 degrees. What type of day would 60 be? At 60.
What?
Cool. Cool. We'll say when we get into the 60s, it'll start to get warm, but we'll start off 60 with cool. Because 60 is close to like the 50s. So we'll say that's a pretty cool day.
Yeah. Cool, like cool. You cool? No, not that kind. Right now I'm just warm. So I got this dress and I got this jacket. I got everything.
Okay. Next we have. Let's keep going up. We're at 80 degrees. So what would 80 be like?
Hot.
Warm. 80 would be a warm day.
Oh. The other one. Yeah. What y'all looking at? The hot one is warm. Yeah, you guys are looking at the hot one, and I'm hot right now. You take off your jacket. And what about my long pants? What about my long sleeves? What about my long jacket? What about my...
All right, and then all the way up, we have 100 degrees. Now we know that's gonna be a what? That's a hot day. It has to be a hot day.
Oh, now I get it, because the same thing is like the color.
Yep, hot. All right, so now let me go ahead and color in the temperature.
Ooh.
So looking at this, Mercury is red. How many degrees is my thermometer? Where did I shade it into? How many degrees is it? 60 degrees, and it's called Fahrenheit because that's what they measure temperature in, Fahrenheit. Okay, what about here? How many degrees?
90.
90 degrees.
Oh, no. 90 must be
90 degrees.
90 must be hot.
Yeah. Okay, so that same page we're on, go ahead and just turn it, and we'll go to the back of this page. So go to the back of this page. And there'll be two thermometers.
Thermometers. You need thermometers. Thermometers. Practice saying that. Thermometers. Practice.
All right, so let's look at the first one. So the first one is shaded in for us. Where does it stop?
At the 30.
At 30 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what that F stands for, Fahrenheit. So what type of day is 30 degrees? Cold, cool, warm, or hot? Cold. So circle cold underneath that thermometer. That is going to be a cold day.
Where?
On the first thermometer. Underneath, it says what type of day is that?
Cold. I'm cold.
All right, let's look at the next one. So we need to shade it in, okay? So we are going to shade it in. Look at the top. How much is it telling you to shade it into? Look at the top. It tells you
100.
100 degrees Fahrenheit. So start at the bottom. Always start at the bottom. Color up. Go ahead and shade it in to 100 degrees. What to 100? You have to stop at 100.
Yep.
All right, good. Almost got it to 100. Let me see when you get it.
Stop on the second one.
Okay, stop. You stopped at 100? It looks like you went all the way up.
I went all the way up 100. Where is? Oh, 100. I thought you said the 100 at there. That's why I stopped there.
Okay. 100.
Everybody said
All right. Okay, so we have that 100. Okay, awesome. So that is reading a thermometer. The thermometer tells us the temperature, what it feels like, whether it's hot, cold, cool, or warm. Okay. All right, good. All right, let's go ahead and do phonics and we have phonics reading and we're done, guys. We can finish really fast. Okay.
included. I said when we get rich.
No, that don't have an X on that. Let's go ahead and start with going over some phonics charts. All right, let's do 11, 12, and 13. So 11,
K
12, 13. All right, so we'll start with chart.
So it's kidney.
All right, so here's chart 11.
Where is it? You take Carson and me.
All right, O says up, and shovel. A says up, and banana. C says in city. AU says in faucet. AW says in saw. EA says in leaf. EA says in thread. EA says a in steak. IE says e in brownie. EY says e in key. EY says a in obey. PH says
And phone.
in phone. Let's do that again. PH says in phone. CH says in chorus. OUGHT says ought in thoughts. AUGHT says ought in caught. G says in giant. DGE says in fudge. All right, let's go to 12.
I almost got
No, that's 13.
I'm calling King my sister. I'm telling you.
All right, A says up in a sleeve. Okay, let's A says up in a sleeve. AL says all and also. BE says be and because. EN says in enjoy. I hear myself. UN says on and unbutton. WR says were in wrinkle. OULD says ud in could. AIR says air in hair. U says in push. OUGH says up in enough. OU says up in country. ARR says air in carry. IRE says ire in fire. All right, and then chart 13. You have hands? Do you have hands or no? Okay, I'm just wondering. All right, and 13. After me, FUL says full, 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 and beautiful.
FUL says full, 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 and beautiful.
ARE says air, 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 and care.
ARE says air, 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 and care.
TAIN says ton, 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 and mountain.
TAIN
says ton, 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 and mountain. URE says your, and pure.
URE says your, and pure.
TURE says chur, 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 and pasture.
TURE says and pasture.
WAR says war, 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 and warm.
WAR says R, and warm.
TION says shun, 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 and nation. Look back right here. TION says shun, 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 and nation.
TION says shun, 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 and nation.
SION says shun, 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 and missionary.
SION says shun, 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 and missionary.
SION says Jean, 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 and television.
SION says John, and television.
EIGH says A, and AIDS.
EIGH says A, and 8.
OR says and sailor.
OR says and sailor.
Y says, AR says and dollar.
AR says and dollar.
Y says and crystal.
Y says it and crystal.
ERR says air, and cherry.
EIR says air, and cherry.
All right, good. All right, so let's go ahead and, so today we're learning sound ARE that says air off of chart 13, ARE that says air. So let's look at the words here. So we have ARE that says air. So let's look at the first word, ARE, air. The word is dare. Next one, we have ARE, air, and SC, scare. Next, we have SH, shh. ARE, air. The word is share. And then we have ARE, air. The word is hair. This is hair like a bunny. How many have hair like a bunny and hair?
Like your hair.
Good. So on Monday, we discussed the new suffix rule. Remember, when your root word ends with Y, what do I change that Y into?
Change it into an I.
I change the Y into an I, and then I add my suffix. So, Naraya, first word is pretty. Can you come write this into prettiest? How would it look if I change pretty into prettiest? Pretty into prettiest. So remember the rule. Change the Y into an I. So go ahead, prettiest. Good. So prettiest, she took away her Y, changed it into an I, and added EST. Good. Cloudy, let's turn cloudy into cloudier. Faith, come turn cloudy into cloudier. Cloudy into cloudier. Okay, so what did you do? You took your Y and added what?
ER.
Oh, well, you took the Y and added the I and then put ER. Good, cloudier. Okay, next I want to turn silly into silliest.
I can do this.
Silly, Taylor, silly into silliest. Remember the rule with Y. Wait, you might have to write a little harder. All right, and write a little harder. Yes, so that it can show all the way. Oh, look at that Y. Remember what's the rule? What do we do to Y? Not E. Look, turn Y into I. So instead of putting Y, put I. And then add your suffix.
What?
Okay, SILLIEST, silliest. Good. All right. All right, let's go ahead and make some words. So I have show. Show. What's a word I can create from show?
Like so, like SHOW.
Okay, good. Show. 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 Like I will watch the show.
Oh, like the show something? I want to watch a show. Wait, me too.
Okay, next I have chin. Chin. What's a word we can create from chin?
I got one. Chicken. I know.
Okay, Dennis, chin. 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 Like our chin on our face.
Yeah.
Chin. And then quack. What's a word I can create from quack? Quack.
Like quack.
Quack. Come on, write it. Quack. Carson will write quack. Like ducks say. They do.
I wish I could see one in real life. I saw a duck flying in the sky like this. A duck don't fly. They could fly.
Yeah, they do fly.
Yeah, they do. Let's have a baby. You said they don't fly.
Quack.
I mean,
So all right, good. All right, let's go ahead and circle some sounds. So match. What are my sounds in match? And that's going to be important to remember that TCH. TCH. Remember, sharp vowel is always TCH. Crib. What are my sounds in crib? CR. Then we have special sound I-N. Crib. Pork. What are my sounds in pork?
OR.
OR. Pork. Rainy. What are the sounds in rainy?
AI.
Not AI.
Oh,
There's a suffix in there.
NI.
Y. Y that says E like in rainy. Verse. What's my special sound in verse?
ER.
ER like in verse. Ship. What's my special sound in ship? SH like in ship. Key. What's my special sound in key?
I know. Key. EY.
EYE like in key. And then the last one, should. Should. What's my sound? I have two of them in should. OULD, good, and SH. Remember, we always review what's going to be on the test. So keep that in mind. All right, awesome. So that's our phonics lesson today. Let's go ahead and get out your reading. We're on page 50.
And we done.
We'll be done.
We done. Hey, we both said this. I almost thought this was me. This food.
Page 50, The Wolf and the Dog.
Wait, I read this last night and my mom wanted to see if I could read that good. I could have made up the other day. Then I knew what's gonna happen. The dog was battering. My mama actually did the blind man and the lame man.
All right, page 50, the wolf and the dog. All right, come on. We'll do Kinley and Mariah first. So 50.
Can I go after?
Can you come this way?
Oh, the people.
All right, 50, the wolf and the dog.
Oh, why not mad though? The wolf and the dog.
Hold on. All right, go ahead.
The wolf and the dog. Once a wolf met a dog playing in a field. His master, the dog, was fat. He looked as if he had
A stapler.
cancer.
That's not gonna fade. That's not gonna fade.
Talking to me. No, she was talking to me.
I was like, yeah, I was. All right. Plenty.
Plenty to eat.
Thank you.
The wolf was thin. He looked as if he had nothing to eat. A lucky dog, said the wolf. You have plenty to eat. I am sorry.
Okay, so a wolf meets a dog, right? And when he sees the dog, he's like, man, the dog looks pretty healthy, right? Because he looks like he has a lot of food to eat. But because how did the wolf look? He was very what?
Fat.
Not the wolf.
Weak.
Yeah, thin. He was thin, right? He was thin. He wasn't like healthy like the dog was. So the wolf, being that he was thin, he's like, man, you look like you have a lot to eat, right? He tells the dog that he's lucky. He's like, man, you're lucky. Okay, let's go. 51, Nariah.
Can I go when? When it's done. Come with me, said the dog. You shall have what you like to eat. As the day started off, the wolf asked, what is around your neck? Oh, that is my collar, said the dog. Collar, said the wolf. Why do you wear a collar? When we are finished playing here, my master will put my leash on me. When we will walk home to my beautiful yard behind the fence.
Okay. All right. So when the wolf and the dog talk, the wolf is, again, he was like, oh man. So the dog tells him, come with me, right? He says, and you have all the food, right? So, but when they start to walk, what does the wolf notice on the dog's neck?
A collar.
A collar, right? And so what does the dog tell him about his collar? He says that after me and my master play, what will happen?
He puts on my leash.
He puts on my leash, and then he has to stay in the yard on the fence. Okay, 52. Let her work. All right, go ahead.
This page. All day I eat or sleep in the yard. And at night I watch the house. Goodbye, said the wolf. I will not go with you. I may be hungry, but I am free.
That's right. So yeah, so whenever the wolf finds out that the dog basically isn't free, right? Because he's free like to walk around at times, but at the end of it all, he has to go in his cage or his house. So the wolf, even though he would have all the food he wants, being, a pet, basically, is that what he wants though? No, he wanted to be able to be free to do what he wants. So you see, it seems like, he's like, man, you're healthy, dog. But then he realizes, well, you're not free. So I don't want to, do that. So yeah, everything that seems a certain way is not always what it seems. That's what that means. All right, so let's go to our next story. The goose that laid the golden egg. Okay, 53.
I'm going to be.
Come on.
No.
All right, the goose that laid the golden egg. Once.
About
Come this way. Upon
a time there was a golden ladybug who had a number of hens, ducks, and geese. She would send her little children to the pond every day to make cake for
care, A-R-E, air, care.
and the ducks and
Okay, so there's a lady who has some ducks and some geese, right? And every day she would send her daughter to do what? And take care of them at the pond, right? Okay, let's turn the page. 54. All right, Dennis, you want to read 54? No? Okay, come on, Kinley. Okay, let's keep reading.
But she had one goose that she kept away from the others. This one had a little house and yard of its own. Why do you think she was so good to this? Each day the goose laid a big golden egg. One day the lady sold an egg to pay for a with
That's a compound word, tablecloth.
The next day she got some white earmuffs. Then she got a golden and a yellow
Well. Okay, good. All right, so the lady has all the pond with the ducks and geese, but there was one goose she kept separate. What could that goose do? Lay golden eggs, right? Which was good because that could make the lady rich, right? So every day this golden goose would lay an egg, and what would she do with the egg? No, she would sell it so she could get money, right? And so she bought all kinds of stuff. She bought earmuffs, a tablecloth, a golden cooking pot, a whisk broom. So this was good, right? The golden egg, the goose laying the golden eggs was great for the lady. She was able to get a lot from it. Okay, let's keep reading. Carson. No, I'm telling you where to read. The old lady.
The old lady could hardly wait for each new day to come. She wanted that golden egg so much. At last she said to herself, I will kill my goose and get all the golden at once.
Okay. No, keep going. You can go into 55.
But when she killed the goose, do you know that she found nothing? It was just like all the other geese. she had lost her goose that laid the golden eggs. The old lady wanted to get rich, but she had become poor. Why did the lady keep this goose away from the others?
Okay, so good. So the lady, she got greedy and she decided that she was going to kill the goose, right? Because she said, please stop. She said if she does that, she'll be able to get all of the eggs at one time, right? At least that's what she thought. But when she killed the goose, what did she find out? Nothing, right? It was just like all the rest of the goose because they lay eggs daily. So when she did that, she thought she was going to get all kinds of gold eggs. And little did she know that didn't work like that. So now, guess what? She has no more golden eggs because her goose is gone. She was greedy, right? And because of her greed, look what happened. She lost the golden goose who was laying the golden eggs and getting her rich. And now it's gone. Yep. So, yep, she should have just been happy with having the goose laying the egg on a daily. But now, yep, it's gone. That's what happens sometimes. If you get too greedy, that'll happen. And that's what happened to her. Okay. So yeah, sometimes we just got to be grateful for what we have in the moment and not try to get more, but just be like, okay, well, this is all I can get at this time. I'll be okay with that. So that's what the lady, she kind of messed up on that. Yeah. Yeah, that was not a smart thing. She's
not real, you know that? I'm done. They're all not alive.
Yeah. All right, so that is it for our reading.
Wait, are we on book 3 still? It's going to be on this page next. And then we're going to be on this page next. Then we're going to be on this page next. We're going to be on this page next. And just make our own book on this page.
Okay. All right, guys. So that is it for us today. We've completed all of our lessons that we need necessary for our test. Make sure you do all your workbook pages. Okay, so just to remember, we don't have writing, language, science, and social studies this week. We'll push all of that to next week. All right, so have a good day, Dennis. I'll see you tomorrow for Bible and for our phonics test. Bye-bye.